Oh my gosh, Sako and B-Man to start with. This is going to be a pleasure. There is an elite pack. I don't know what
It's
B-Man is
so
cooking
good.
lately.
It's
It's a
so
good
good.
one. It's a good one. Nah, Saber. Sabers are great right now, though, so I absolutely don't mind this. Sako, I don't know, man. All four packs are good except for missile spec here, I'd say. I think Sako's willing to pick any of those three. I think speed is probably not likely to happen here. What do you think?
I don't mind speed if he wants to play aggro, but I think Sacco in tournaments has mostly been playing standard. And so, yeah, here we are. Looks like this is going to be Stormcaller Crawler opener, which is not too bad in two sabers, I would say.
That's right. And speaking of the prediction, last thing to mention about today's format is that the top four Insight betters are awarded a show match, which I assume will be tomorrow on Sunday. So, you're also incentivized to bet, and there's strategy there. You can bet on yourself. And you can also, while you're queuing up, you're waiting for your queue to pop, you can go head into a game and quickly bet there as well. So we already did the top four last week. I think it was like, what? Nightcrawler, Cast, was it Shade? I think it was Shade, and then one other player who escapes me. But yeah, it was fun. And so this is another, mini game to today's sort of crazy arcade format.
So get your tickets in, at least if you are one of the players in today's private server.
In the future, we'll be finding ways to get more people involved. But since this is on a private server, it's just the players voting, which is kind of crazy in its own way. But yeah.
All right. Seems like the players here are ready with their turns. We've got two Arclights for Sacco. Makes sense. He was lacking some chaff clear. We've got two Hounds for B-Man. I feel like we haven't seen Hounds make that much of an appearance as of late. Most people seem to prefer the Arclights and their ability to one-shot crawlers at equal level.
Exactly, yeah. I'm still unsure whether I like Hounds or Arclights more. I think I like starting with 3 Hounds. I'm just not sure if I like building the initial 2, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think I'm personally in the Arclight camp for now.
Yep.
But if I have elites, I'm okay with it, right? Like if I know I can get over that threshold, then it's absolutely fantastic. But otherwise, yeah, just give me those Arclights.
Yeah, makes sense. The Crawlers did pretty well here for B-Man. I mean, they're dead now, but they kind of owned the Stormcallers, and now these other Stormcallers a little bit exposed. There's definitely a lot of tankability on the board. So first win going to B-Man here as Sako is waiting for his Typhoon, but I guess B-Man also waiting for his Saber. He is the Saber specialist. And with the techs 50 cheaper, I mean, Sabers could be a big part of B-Man's game here.
And immediately we're going to have 3 units. We've got those Void Eyes, we did mention them. They got a buff. Farseer, though, often hard to skip on round 2.
So good, yeah. No surprise there from B-Man. Do you think Sako can pick up anything else? Like, Fire Badger and Sledge are fantastic defensive units.
Yeah. I honestly, maybe you want... I mean, even Void Eye here I could see being fine into the Sabers, but I think, yeah, Sledgehammer could make a lot of sense. I don't know if Sabers... I think they do still one-shot level 2 Sledgehammers, though, so maybe that's not something you want to go for. We'll see the Farseer instead. It is the safest pick, I guess, going forward.
Yep, no doubt. And I'm not surprised that both Farseers were put on the weaker side. I know Sako loves to kind of like put a little bit of counter pressure on the weak side, and certainly going for that with the Farseer, and then B-Man parrying it even adds the additional Crawler as that bodyguard, so looking pretty good. Whoa, the Missile Interceptor picked up. It was 50 cheaper because of his specialist, so, it's not the biggest commitment, but on the same time, it makes all your other techs more expensive and not the most standard play, I'd say.
Yeah, that is an interesting one here early on. I'm not sure I mind it too much, because if you expect the Farseer to come out, and there's another unit that shoots missiles, and you know that right now Sako is relying on Storms to kill those Sabers, and if you can turn them off, or even like turn them off for 50%, that's a lot of DPS that's just gone.
Excellent points there. Looks like B-Man, with that kind of Crawler bodyguard he added, gonna win the Farseer battle just barely, but that does give him a debuff. And kind of crucial if you ask me, because he's kind of getting owned. I don't even know if he can win the round. This Farseer has no HP, so the moment it takes any damage, there it goes. But, you know, a small win for Sako here. B-Man will get his Sabertooth for free. Sako's got to wait one more round for his Typhoon.
And I hate to do the Hounds dirty here, but I do think that that round was a Hound loss. You could see that they just ran in. They died immediately, couldn't clear the crawlers because of the breakpoint. I think if those were Arclights, then B-Man would have had this round.
Yeah, that's fair. So we got the fire picked up for Sako, but the laser picked up for B-Man. I think that makes a lot of sense, certainly for Sako. This fire just incredible, right? And Hounds, they suffer quite a bit. You know, Arclights do quite a bit better. That is one of the differences. We're even teching range on the Hounds, and I don't think that's going to save them whatsoever. So you have to imagine massive tempo here going for Sako. Still has to win the left, though, right? Like, there could be a disaster on the left. Temp speed. Ooh, don't really like the temp speed, given that you're already expecting fire, which hurts your chances here quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's a tricky one to click early on, because 50 resources at this stage in the game is still a decent investment. And exactly, if you're expecting fire to come out, then that's not going to save your level 1 units.
Yeah. So we sold the Storm. You know, he is afraid of those missile interceptors. I think that's absolutely the right call, because you know that a third Saber is coming down this turn guaranteed. And, you know, you don't want to stay in those rockets when, you know, B-Man is incentivized to pick up more and more Sabers.
Well, all of the small units have burned to a crisp. And you have to imagine that Sako will be coming out victorious. Of course, B-Man does have AA, but I mean, 4 Phoenixes is a bit too much, surely.
Yeah, I guess you're right. 4 Phoenixes. If it was 2 Phoenixes, I'd be like, okay, we got the tower here. We got temp speed. You know, we're going to collapse. You know, like Sako's burning his own stuff, but you have to imagine those 4 Phoenixes are just going to get the debuff, kill that Farseer, and that's that.
What?
Yeah,
that's
all
close.
4 living.
If the Farseer went for the Phoenixes immediately, then maybe there was a chance, but the Stormcaller is doing a good job there of absorbing some shots.
Yep. Farseer got a level with the laser sight. That's big. Looking at the cards here, kind of, you know, scaling stuff here, I suppose. Sako snap picking the efficient tech. That is rather interesting. He gets his Typhoon. We can see it on the flank if I hide this panel here. I'm curious where his techs are going to go. It looks like immediate Arclight range, and I guess he's just willing to lose some tempo to make some money later on.
Yeah, I like it. He seems to be in a decent spot, and if you haven't teched anything just yet and the cards aren't that impactful, then completely fine to pick efficient tech research.
Yep, definitely agree. B-Man taking his time here. What did he pick? I had the panel hidden there. The Amp Core, okay. Doesn't have a great home for it yet, but, you know, super powerful item. Where's the Typhoon now? Okay, he thought about flanking it. He's back on the helipad now. I kind of like it in his main army. I feel like he could use a tiny bit of extra tankability and chaff clear.
Yeah, it's fine, I guess, to leave them for now. There is a bit of a gap here in the middle. It's not that likely that the Sabers will turn to those Typhoons at the start of the round. So I don't mind keeping it for a round. I do think I want to get rid of it eventually, but for now, this seems like a good tempo play.
You know, the big question here is how is Sako going to defend that left side? Because the Farseer leveled, has the laser sight, and there's also a blue crawler and a hound now. Like, he's heavily outgunned, so I guess he's just willing to risk sort of losing his tower.
Yeah, maybe he thinks he can, like, pull the units to the right, but there is an Arclight there on the left. Although, Farseer seems to be interested on the middle of the board, so maybe.
That's pretty hype, yeah. I don't know if anything's going to go towards the tower. Oh, I guess the Saber is. Okay.
Saber knows the mission.
If he had temp speed, it would have made such a big difference this round, but it looks like he's just getting bullied. He actually kept the Saber and the Storm and leveled it. He did use a sell. What did he sell?
A Storm.
I thought he already sold one the previous round, though.
Oh, then I might have missed it, but
maybe the Typhoon got sold the last second. That I didn't really see. just like to track that because I think it's fascinating to not sell it. Did the Farseer get sold? Let me see. I just like to get inside Sako's head because it's a really interesting thing to sell. Yeah, Farseer was sold. Okay, got it, guys.
Round 5. We're getting the earliest possible reinforcements here on round 1 and round 2.
Yeah, a lot of low-level stuff here, except for the Scorpion. Steel Ball is on aggro, definitely feeling good. Locking up those arc lights could be quite powerful. We'll see if he wants to like go into mech div and all that. Sako gonna go for the high-level thing, and looks like he's not gonna sell it. The sell was used on the Stormcaller, so he's gotten completely out of all those rocket-based units, which makes the Sabertooth now with a useless tech and all his other techs more expensive.
Sako picking up Scorpion. He'll be really happy to know that B-Man went for those steel balls. I kind of like it. I wouldn't consider Scorpions to normally be that favored into Sabertooth, but with there already being a tech collect, it's going to be hard for B-Man to get into range and double shot, and that Scorpion is awfully high level. Level 3, that's tough to kill even if you do get the lock on.
Yeah, I'm with you. Saber is usually a bit favored in Scorps, but yeah, this is just fantastic. Of course, there's also the Hounds, which are, you know, an okay shot. Like, not as good as hitting balls or sabers, perhaps, but better than hitting crawlers, you could argue.
Let's see, though. Left side still looking a bit menacing. Level 2 Sabertooth, level 2 Farseer.
Boom, one good shot on the left. 3 balls gone. We'll see if the Farseer can No, there's no way the Scorp goes down, right? This thing is a menace.
Oh,
a lot
it
of
did
crawlers,
get locked, though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
I think it is going to fall. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Hero Saber coming in. Gets the tower as well. The Sabers are just looking so powerful right now. They're spiking so hard.
Even with the low-level Sabers, no range, no double shot, just that missile interceptor, which right now isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
B-Man managing to just, power through with that temp speed.
And this game is really important, by the way, guys. Like, Sako and B-Man are sitting pretty close to that 8th place spot, which is the threshold for getting invited into the league. So this game is pretty hype.
So what is the problem right now here for Sako? Of course, there is this temp speed thing. I'm guessing that he just needs a little bit more chaff. Perhaps Sledgehammers here would be a bad pickup.
Oil is incredible here. It's slow into fire coming the next turn, right? So you can connect them, create fire all across the front. I guess you could like extinguish it as B-Man, but that's expensive in its own way. But even just the slow, and, you know, slow is also really good with Scorpions as everything clumps and your shots just get even better. So we'll see if that makes the difference. This EMP against Sako on the left on the 2 Arclights and Scorpion is also pretty strong, but maybe tit for tat as the EMP is also hitting the left side here.
Yeah, won't do too much. Just get rid, I guess, of that. That level 2 pack of Hounds is pretty important, but there's one more kind of to the right of it. And
the slow's going to be
the missile
hype,
interceptor doesn't do anything. Yeah, it's mostly about the slow, I guess.
I think it's really good, yeah.
Oh boy, another Scorpion got added into the EMP there.
Whoa, he actually has he has 5 Scorps. That's insane.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Really interesting stuff. This bubble at the last second going to be keeping 3 techs alive. Kind of a big moment there. I mean, sure, that 100 will be gone forever as the bubble surely dies, but, you know, tempo is important right now. Sako at 2200, really hoping to win this round and next as his fire comes off of cooldown, and I think he's poised to win this round for sure, right? I mean, there's a crawler problem, but I think he's all right. He fortified both towers as well.
Yeah, looking real strong, and he'll do good damage if he can keep some of these Scorpions alive. 300 to pop, those Phoenixes still completely safe in the air. And yeah, this looks like Sako will strike back immediately. Keep in mind, oil will stay and fire will be off cooldown, so it doesn't seem like B-Man will get much of a chance to breathe in the following round.
Yeah. At the last second, B-Man did get the tower and cleaned up a bunch. That's nice, but yeah, still decent win here. Kind of innocent cards. You know, these photons do have some value against the EMPs that eventually come off cooldown. I think photon coating at the very least seems kind of good. I think for Sako's sake, he should take one of these cards, but yeah, not the biggest deal. It's more important what they do with their money. And it looks like B-Man going to be doing the underground crawlers here. That helps a little bit against the fire. They won't survive the full way through at level 1, but if they're like halfway through, you know, maybe a few survive.
It also feels a little bit bad, right? Having to click this when into a board of Arclights. You would probably prefer loose formation.
Really good point, yeah. Photon emission picked up for Sako here. Going to be touching that big Scorp. Well, 2 big Scorps, in fact. Pretty nice tempo. All the birds have hit level 2 as well. We're picking up Mustangs. Can you give me your thoughts on these Mustangs? My thoughts is probably like for potential Wasp and for loose Crawler.
Yep, I think that's exactly what it is. When you're defending and you're buying Arclights, which is kind of the main way that you deal with chaff, you will always have to be careful about a potential loose formation. And with the amount of crawlers on the board, I think it's a good moment to start investing in them, because you would probably want a few more of them, and you know that this round at least you can get by with fire.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah. I feel like that's a really good timing. It's such a heads-up play from Sako. And it honestly, even though loose wasn't picked up or anything like that, I still think it's kind of nice, just for like extra chaff. I mean, Scorp plus Mustang is just a good composition, so let's see how it does.
Fire here going to be really nice. I love that he decided to split the oil and the fire after all, because I think the slow was super, super good. And while the fire, of course, would have done well, he wouldn't have slowed down the sabers, and maybe that would have created some chaos. But yeah, this doesn't look good at all here for B-Man. All of the Scorpions managing to lock on, stay alive. This might even be game.
That was incredible. Is it game?
Oh yeah, it easily is. Wow.
That's incredible. All right, big win for Sako, guys. He's in 9th place, and this will give him a win. It might put him up to 8th place or 7th place or whatever. So really great start for Sako here, and hopefully the momentum keeps with him. So yeah, let's see this game. And let's talk about Zemp as well really quick. Zemp is, let me see, maybe like 19th, 20th, that sort of area. So you can absolutely get it in as well. For context, he's about 70 MMR away from Sako. So actually, yeah, he's really in the running as well. This is a big game.
Well, if Zemp wants to make a chance, as I'm hearing it, he will need to win this, though. Falling behind even further would be no good, but if he can take away from some of these contenders, then he might be able to secure a spot by the end of the day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's really a big deal to win this game. Let's see, what's the matchup here? We got Typhoon Specialist for Zemp against Saber. So actually the exact same Specialist matchup as the previous game, just swap size. This time red is the Sabertooth. And yeah, it's Tarantulas against Tarantulas in a center headbutt. That's like one of the least likely matchups you can get. Okay, Math is actually thinking about going to the edges here. I would say the Void Eyes might be slightly favored round 1, but it is a lot of chaff, so I'm actually not 100% sure.
I think the Void Eyes do have it. Their DPS is so insane in these early rounds, and specifically against Sabertooth and Spider, they seem to perform rather well. I'd be interested to see if Math actually will invest more into it, because if you have a look at the techs, he is running range. Now, I've seen a lot of people only run things like Absorb or no range techs at all, but he's not running Absorption, so it seems like he wants to play Void Eyes with techs.
Definitely agree. One of his Fangs ran and did like nothing, so like maybe if that Fang was involved, it would look pretty close, but as it stands, the third Void Eye there from Math looking pretty good. And yeah, I mean, we'll see if he wants to carry with them or not. I think it's pretty legit. I've also put range on mine. I think the buff was just massive, and their stats are starting to look really enticing. Like, they shoot faster than birds. There's 3 of them. They're cheap, you know?
I wouldn't mind it. I think it's a correct play to make, and we are going to get a tech immediately there in the background for Math. Going to go for, I believe, a skip. So he has enough money to get double deployments and get that 250 cost aerial on the Void Eyes.
So cool. Such an early commit, but you know, it does make a lot of sense, right? Because round 2 is the round where you usually pick up that Phoenix, or at least some sort of air threat is threatened, right? So, you know, you've paid only a tech to handle that. Didn't have to like unlock something or buy something you didn't want. Goes for a crawler flank as well, which I think will be timely. Like it'll be a bit late, but hopefully does something.
Zemp going for the classic Phoenix. We'll have to see how this matchup turns out. For now, though, Void Eye is absolutely crushing, finding that newly bought Tarantula and quickly getting rid of it. Crawler's moving in. Debuff soon going to be there, and I mean, we might just have a round where, okay, I say all the Void Eyes will survive. Looks like a couple will fall, but dominant victory here for Mathis Might.
Really dominant. Yeah, that's a big deal. And there's already a health disparity between them of like almost 600. So this is going to put an extra big chunk of damage here. And also the Saber comes down for Math. So he's also favored this round as well. Zemp's going to be having to wait one more turn for Typhoon, but there is the unit drops here.
Does anything look good? I'm not sure. I mean, Quad Hound is a lot of deployments. Zemp will just pick it because of that. We've got the Saber pickup for Math, which could be fine to keep on the board and then eventually sell. Maybe you can even pair them up with the Void Eyes, though. They're a bit lower range, so could be easier to keep your Void Eyes safe if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. So yeah, the Hounds were picked up probably in part because it gives you that nice defense against the crawler flank, and you get to cover your other flank as well. I agree with you that they weren't the highest impact. Yeah, I think I like his choice. I feel like the Badger was legit as well, but I suppose the thought process here is that, you know, Dezemp loves his tarantulas, and the Badgers kind of overlap in roles. The Hounds also technically overlap in roles, but I find the fact that there's so many deploys of them, you know, pretty useful.
And he's finding some good uses for it. Again, defending the flank, going to be able to pull some of those crawlers that are behind Mathis Might's towers by some deep flanks. What it won't do, though, is help with this oil play from Math. Setting it on fire with those Badgers, and I mean, that is absolutely nasty.
Look how fast the tarantulas die here. It's kind of crazy. I'm kind of inspired by this round 2 aerial mode on the Void Eyes. Like it's definitely feeling a lot better. You give them the speed, and with their DPS buff they received on Friday, they're crazy DPS, man.
Yeah, they kind of put them back to where they were before we had that patch that gave them more range in return for a DPS loss. But now they still have that bonus range, and they're kind of back to being really good value for the DPS.
Yep, might have finally gotten them to a good spot, and it's great to see it showcased today. That was, you know, you did have to pay the oil for that move, and now Dezemp is going to get his Typhoon, so maybe we can get a comeback here.
Now, how do you deal with this, though? Zemp really loves to just buy a ton of Phoenixes, so he might try to go for that. I've seen a lot of boat carry games played into Void Eyes, which I feel is one of the better counters as well, but considering the high Phoenix investment, we might just see Phoenixes here.
Honestly, good questions. What do you think about, like, Fort AA?
Oh, I haven't really seen that, to be honest. I don't know if that still works, because the Void Eyes are so tanky at this point. They can tank multiple Fort AA missiles. Like, they're sitting at 2.7k hit points now at level 2, which is significant. Like, it's the same as a level 2 Phoenix. So I'm not sure if that's something you want to do.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think you would have some inevitability against them, but yeah, it could be risky. Do you think that the electromagnetic armor has value against the Fortress anti-air?
No, absolutely not. It only EMPs for 5 seconds, but the fort will get all of its missiles out before it starts hitting the Void Eyes with EMP armor, and then it'll just like be EMP'd for 5 seconds, and after it's done, it'll just like load up its next salvo.
Oh, okay, I see. It's kind of like Fang summoning being EMP'd. It just doesn't really do anything.
No, because the cooldown still like is ticking during the debuff, and then as soon as the EMP is over, you just fire your next salvo.
Yeah, okay, good to know. Well, let's see. This is the big turn for Zemp here. It's looking better, no question about that. There's actually tower pressure on the right. As soon as we get rid of this last pesky Void Eye, we're going to be on the tower. We are having crawlers, though, streaming through for Mathis Might. That is probably going to get the tower. Yeah, it is unfortified, but I think this debuff maybe just timely enough.
Not too many Void Eyes left, and the last spider will fall too. So Zemp here recovering from what was a pretty painful early game.
Yeah, not too bad damage. Eventually the oil will come back, but for now he's got some respite, and yeah, he's got a lot of tarantulas. He's got a level on one. Maybe he can make something happen.
Again here with the early second rotation of unit reinforcements, we're gonna get scorpions. One gets sold. Kind of feels like that's what both players want to go for.
I think I agree there. We'll see. It looks like Zemp considering keeping both. He hasn't unlocked the sell button this game, so oh, there's the sell button. He sold the Typhoon. Makes a lot of sense. Scorpions just came down. I liked using it for one move. Oh, we got the range on the Void Eyes. Nice.
I mean, he's in a great spot here, already up to the double techs that are somewhat required to make this comp scale with the range on the spiders and the range now on the Void Eyes as well. So I like how this is looking. Range finally picked up for Zemp too, but Phoenix's no techs as of yet. Of course, the good thing about Phoenix is they've got 120 base, so they kind of sit at spider level even without range.
Yeah. You think this crawler level in the bottom right corner is going to get through?
Oh. Yeah, it very well might. Hounds need a lot of shots to deal with the level 2 crawler. They need 3, so...
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, the tarantula might turn, depending on how the battle plays out. Probably not likely, though.
No, I doubt it. It'll shoot at the fangs, and then I think it'll get locked down by the scorpion. Or the shield.
A lot of flanks going on. Yeah. Ooh, a bubble there. Looking kind of good. There is a bird there. I think it's level 2. Let's see the blue crawler, though. How's it doing?
Oh,
How many are left?
It's beating it. Oh, that's plenty for a debuff.
More than enough. It's like kind of close, but it'll go through. How big is it, though?
Just about.
Yeah. It's got to be big. Look how much stuff is left. I guess the battle was almost over regardless. Maybe Mathis Might was just in a good position anyhow. He does lose a bubble, but you got to be feeling good about that tempo. And levels are just so precious on every single unit, right? Tarantulas, Void Eyes, just fantastic levelers.
It's cheap too, especially on those Void Eyes. Keep in mind they're 100 cost, so you're only paying 50 for a unit that at this point performs much like a Phoenix.
Yeah. Oh my god, those levels are insane. Bird range, very important here. But you know, there is a DPS issue, right? Levels, range only goes so far. Like, how do you win the Tarantula battle? I feel like that's a really important aspect here.
I mean, typically you would need something like Charge Shot, right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got the money for it. He has 800 left.
Yet to sell one of the Scorps. They really didn't do much, especially that one in front of the left tower. Only 268 damage, so probably wise to get rid of that.
You can actually see that Zemp has a massive economy lead if you sort of do the math on this bottom UI panel here. The supply number shows your total investment into your army. So if he spends all of his remaining money, okay, he's doing some temporary stuff now. So he's going to go up to about 5,300. And if math does it, he's going to be sitting at about 5,000. So almost like 300 or 400 extra supplies here for Zemp.
Well, will it translate in a round win?
We'll see. I mean, both players... Oh, we actually have a loan for Mathis Might. So it's even worse than it looks, I feel.
Smells blood. His
Yeah.
opponent is down to 1,600, so he can probably finish it in 2 turns, which would be, if he's correct, the right time to loan.
I mean, these Void Eye levels are crazy. I love the underground threat here. Really close to that right side tower. I think it will get answered just fine. It's going to be close, though. But the more important thing is just how are the Tarantula versus Tarantula going? There's a big level advantage. All those spiders are blue. They do have HE as well. The chaff is just gone. But the birds are starting to connect on the Void Eyes.
And Mathis Might, importantly, doesn't run Port Shield, which I feel like is a really valuable tech at this stage of the game, especially when you're up against things like Phoenixes. But that's not going to be available, and it means that it'll be easier for these Phoenixes to get through the horde of Void Eyes that Math has at this point.
It's a big deal for sure. Looks like it's going to be a small victory here for somebody. I mean, the crawlers probably are enough to seal the deal. Oh, they're not actually. Yeah, Phoenixes managed to get the Void Eyes there, which were the only left. So Zemp survives. Yeah, minus 50 at the end. Very nice. A lot of levels on the Phoenixes.
Wasp Swarm.
Deadly.
Something Zemp has to think about because he is vulnerable to it on the right side, for sure.
Wasps do seem kind of nice in general. Obviously, there's like so many Void Eyes that they'll actually kill the Wasp, no problem. But on the same token, like, is it just worth it to distract them for those, you know, certain amount of seconds?
You could even get real spicy and try to get AA Wasps.
Yes, yes. I think that is an interesting move. Obviously, like, Mustangs or Wraiths would come out as a response. So the question is, how long would that be good for?
Also, Math does run AA on his spiders, and he's already teched range and HE, so like that would be a fine response too.
That's a great call out, and we do see the Wasp picked up. So, you know, with Math's Might sitting at 3,200 HP, even if the Wasp look good here, which is not even guaranteed. Oh, never mind. Yeah, Math's Might has it. Okay, yeah. So this is a big deal.
Doesn't seem like Zemp's gonna tech the Wasps though. Just wants to use them as chaff, which I like. I think it's the correct thing to do here. Lots and lots of missiles coming out for Zemp though. I mean, he still has such a high investment into his board compared to Math, but look at that. Just the board absolutely riddled with missiles.
Yeah, for both players here. Yeah, maybe a little bit more for Zemp, but yeah, they're both afraid of the Wasp Swarm, which is coming down on the right side, the exact same spot that the Underground Threat came through, but boom, the missile takes it down. And once again, the Tarantula battle going to be a big focus here. There's so many levels on all of the DPS units that the Tarantulas don't live long, which means that these late crawlers do have a lot of value. You can see them streaming in, but there are just enough hounds left to take care of them. The Wasps are going to look really good this round, but as mentioned, Math's Might does have the HP to hold on.
Looks like the Wasps kind of were positioned in a way where they weren't able to protect the spiders from Zemp from getting insta-locked, but doesn't seem to matter. Got rid of all the chaff before his spiders died, and now we're getting to the late game. 1,200, 1,600 hit points for both of the players. One round could be all it takes, especially with a red spell like that one showing up.
Oh god. Is there... Okay, there's Revive. There's no Jump Drive. This is crazy. There's oil on the battlefield as well. Don't know if that will be relevant. Looks like it is. Mathis Might gonna pick up that Badger. That will absolutely get through. Maybe a bubble could... Wait, no, a bubble does nothing, right? It'll still light on fire.
Nope.
Okay, so
Math
that's like...
here kind of going through his stash of units, finding that he still had a Badger kind of in the back, and pulls it out here for the one-turn oil. That's a lot of effects on one turn between the storm and the fire.
No doubt. I feel like Dezemp got bailed out by this lightning storm, question mark. Like, I'm so nervous for Math here.
Yeah, Math not having shield either, so you have to imagine that those Void Eyes will be dying. And unlike the Phoenixes, which now have that quantum reassembly, if the Void Eyes die, they're gone. There's no respawn mechanic.
We gotta beacon them, right? Like, you can... I think you can get 6 of your Void Eyes, and I don't know, maybe it's not even worth it, because they're...
It's really hard to do, because if they get hit, they get slowed as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you can get out. Like, these guys are not that fast. AA on the spiders, okay.
Maybe really
the spiders
like
here can take over some of the DPS.
This is such a crucial move by Math, because he knows a lot of his anti-air will get taken out by the Lightning Storm, so just having that backup is crucial. But the question is, will the Phoenixes just kill all of the Tarantulas before they can even shoot the air?
Okay, wait, the Void Eyes, okay, some of them are dying now, but they've held on for long enough, it seems, even on the left side.
How did they live? How?
The tankiness, man. Those buffs really have made a difference.
Does Lightning Storm deal 2,000 or 2,500?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because it's either 2 hits or 3 hits, depending on that. Either way.
I think it is lower, but...
Yeah, probably 2,000.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh my gosh, what a round. This is like no damage. They were all okay. 2 of them were revived, and 1 of them was a normal Phoenix. So that's 150 damage total taken there. 2 Mathis Might. The storms are gone. There's no spells at all, and we get unit reinforcements.
Okay, seems like we've got the check. It is 2,500.
Okay, so big RNG then. They only got hit like once max on that one particular pack.
I mean, they've got, yeah, okay, 4,700. No, but that doesn't make any sense. I swear I saw them get hit twice.
Okay, well, either way, not super important, but... Oil plus Vulcan, going to be Zemp's choice here. Mathis Might going to be thinking about it. My personal opinion is like maybe the sledges vertical represent good tank value. This is a spicy round though. Oh,
Zemp returning the favor on the fire.
Beat. There's a decent little spot there, bullying the right side. Oh, he's undoing.
Oh.
Maybe
Zemp
just
here unsure.
White chaff first and now beat. You know, you do have to sequence it correctly.
There is Shard Shot now, though, on the Void Eyes.
Yeah, for sure. It's big DPS. Big DPS.
Although, on the right side, there is only 1 pack. So, as good as a DPS is, it's still a 100 cost unit. I don't think this will be dying very fast. Oh, I say that. Math might have heard me, well, in the past, because they are ahead of us, of course, but 3 blue ones added.
Oh, look how strong those zaps are. It's pretty crazy. Like, it's still a decent war factory, but you've got to be feeling good about the rate at which you're killing it.
This thing is 500,000 hit points, for reference.
AA Tarantulas are also so relevant here, killing those wasps so that the Void Eyes can get through. Fire on the ground is killing these late crawlers. There's only so many birds left. They do have the revive, though, but these long-range Void Eyes might get the tower on the left.
We're gonna go to another round for sure here, though. There's not that many units left for either player. Looks like Zemp's ahead, does have that revive ability.
Yes. Debuff, not super long here. Yeah, doesn't get anything out of it. You said the game goes on, Rooster. I'm not so sure.
Oh my days. That's
Zemp
crazy.
It in a massive win over Math. This puts Math in a really well, okay, I know I'm overselling it. He's still fine, but that puts him from 4th place into, you know, maybe closer towards 6th, 7th. And again, you need 8th or higher to get into the invite to the league format.
All right. Well, here we go. Here are the packs for both players. No spiders for Nightcrawler, which I think he's had a lot of success with in the past, but no spiders on Agri's side either. Maybe it's a sledgehammer type day.
Definitely the case for Grip Nakoma here. I think Nightcrawler could be eyeing that supply pack. No. Aerial with Arclights and Stormcallers, excuse me. Yeah, I'm curious
Nightcrawler with the Stormcrawlers?
True. Curious what he'll go for there. Like, how do you leverage an air specialist in these type of games? I mean, sure, you can just unlock Phoenix, you save 50, you get some more stats, but is there a deeper line that you would be thinking about? Maybe Abyss?
Could be Abyss. I think that would likely be the most interesting line. I think the typical one is indeed you use Phoenixes early on. You can get an item on round 2 and still be able to purchase 2 Phoenixes, which is nice. You've got the stat bonus. You can unlock Wasps, which those can be annoying when they drop and neither player is into Mustang. So like you can kind of block the air units that you don't want to see. That's, I think, the typical use case.
Yeah, makes sense. No chaff here for a Grip Nakoma so far. I do like that when you're against 3 Arclights. You know, you can just get more value out of those marksmans, really helping kill these Arclights that the sledges can advance and dodge a little bit of those missiles. And as long as you have a couple sledges left as you advance towards those Stormcallers, you will get the round win.
Super awkward split on the right side there for Nightcrawler to deal with. Close round.
All right. Pretty close,
but Agri will be taking it.
You can see the Stormcallers did a ton of damage that round, 35,000. A little bit more of a shared effort there for Grip Nakoma. As he picks up free crawlers, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a nice pick there. You're never gonna feel bad about that. Nightcrawler though, picking the steel balls, I don't mind that either. Level 2 on round 2 is a lot of bonus hit points and not the easiest to deal with when all you have is level 1 units on Agri's side.
Yeah, I really like it too. You can see he's deciding where to put it. Thought about bottom middle, now puts it on the right side. Will it be buddy-buddy with the Phoenix? The Phoenix actually just sitting in middle. I really don't like that, and I hope he moves it. And the reason why is that there's no chaff to accompany it. So, it'll run past the arc light, and then the marksman will just shoot it.
Kind of wondering though, now that I think about it, would it have just been better to pick the crawlers because he has no fast chaff and then be able to purchase 2 Phoenixes instead?
I kind of agree, yeah, but I mean, we'll see. It all comes down to like how good will the steel ball be. But honestly, like I like the steel ball choice, and I think it'll be good medium term. But I don't know if it'll be good short term. We have just the one arc light to kill the chaff. I suppose there's only one crawler though. Maybe it'll be good.
Fangs should protect it for now, and well, that steel ball left side will be adding a ton of pressure. I would be surprised if it goes down.
There's the Phoenixes falling like I predicted. I mean, it killed an Arclight and stuff like that. Like, it didn't do nothing, but not sure that was as good as, like, putting it behind the ball. Typically your fragile DPS units, you want to put them behind your tankiest stuff. The balls are doing okay, though.
They're tanking. Right side, though, is falling, and, well, we might get a tower debuff trade. We will.
Kind of not bad. Not the worst timing. Oh, crawler splitting everywhere.
Split is awful. Oh my days. Or well, fantastic if you're Agri, I guess.
Not enough though. First blood there on a Cryptocoma. Marksman's picked up 3 levels. Fast picks there. I think I saw like sub ball, but underground threat picked up. Defensive
Agri.
use.
So just going to opt for some resource management here for Agri, trying to greed and invest as much into his board as possible. Already has access to range on his arc lights now.
Ooh, 4 storms. All right. That can be really strong tempo. I feel like it's particularly good against a Cryptocoma's board. There's a lot of arc lights and marksmans to shoot at. Some fangs trailing in as well.
Range Arclight, though, I think should make quite a difference. We've got left side now, high-level marksman. Level 2s should be able to help out with those steel balls a bit more. We also have a Stormcaller purchase, kind of trying to aim for that forward Fang pack. And a missile coming out last second for Nightcrawler.
What does it get? Just the 5 sledges, which is a big deal. The Stormcallers now will be shooting instead at... Unfortunately, nothing too good. Oh, putting some damage on that Arclight is nice. But this many Stormcallers, I feel like you've got the round unless you have a crawler problem. And speaking of... oh no, there are some fangs going to help out. But I think these crawlers are posing quite a threat.
Yeah, a little bit annoying. Looks like the fangs should be able to deal with it. We've got some stray shots from the Stormcallers kind of trying to help out their brothers. But
yeah,
that will be a round win. And a decent one too. Stormcallers deal a lot of damage at the end of the round.
Absolutely, that was nice. The 4 Stormcallers definitely working out. He did use the spell, of course, the Underground Threat. And more spells are here. Once again, I didn't get to see all the cards, but I totally understand just snap picking the fire. And this puts Nightcrawler in a little bit of an uncomfortable position.
You have to shield, right?
The problem is you can't double dip, right? You can't get one shield that covers 2 packs. So there's the guessing of right-left. There's the fact that you only cover 1/4 of them anyways. So do you bubble it?
I think you can kind of protect both. Maybe the edges will burn, but I think you can get away with 2 shields there. Maybe you only gamble that it's on like the left side as it is. Or you can trade if you think that the fire is equally good for both of you.
Yeah, that makes sense. The fire here should be pretty sweet for Nightcrawler against a Grypnocoma as well. Burning the marksman eventually. Sledges taking significant damage, Just in general, this spell is just deadly.
Do the Stormcallers somehow like stay safe here?
I wouldn't expect so, but But I feel you. It's like kind of somewhat close, but yeah, I think they're dead.
Yeah, no, those are starting to burn. Well, although the ones in the middle are trying to stay safe.
Oh my gosh, yeah, okay. Only one Stormcaller surviving so far.
It'll be a close round, though, because the fire also kind of burned some of those crawlers that were moving in from Agri.
Yep. Typhoons is not doing that great. Look at this shot on the right. Boom. Okay, one lives. That's nice. But oh, the debuff. Okay, not super important. The fire is going to be dealing some decent damage here. The blue marksman probably going to get it done here. And yeah, I think both players are sort of okay with that result.
Slow and steady game so far. Might go the distance considering all these smaller units.
I agree. There's nothing signifying that this game will go, you know, in a strong direction all of a sudden. These light units, man, they just don't deal a lot of damage. I mean, storms sometimes can deal a ton of player damage, but I feel like both players have such strong boards that they're sort of just clashing and trading out.
So neither player there wanting to go for the enhancement module. I think it was worth considering maybe for Nightcrawler, but he goes for the absorption module instead.
I agree. I think it was totally fine. He already had the sell button, I think, so seemed fine. I like the temp range. I feel like round 5, really good timing for it. Obviously in you know, long range battles like this, especially with Stormcallers and Arclights.
What do you think of this Phoenix on the right side that's been purchased?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I think it's like some stable damage against the Typhoons. He doesn't want to leave it up to sort of like chance that the Stormcallers will kill it, because that is what killed it last time. So I think I am okay with it. The angling is just great.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's just everything trading out, you know. The ball's still there, by the way. It's really going to look bad. I think that's got to be the next sell for him. The right side, there's a ton of... Oh, the Arclight got stuck. Okay, it's unstuck now. Going to kill some crawlers on the right. There's still some material in that area, but it's like a little uncomfortable.
Typhoon somehow managing to survive on a sliver of hit points there, kind of causing chaos. Even dodging some missiles at the end.
These wins are actually pretty important, by the way. Whoever can escape, whoever can win the Arclight battle gets really favored. Like the HP on them matters, the range once you take Elite Marksman, all of that really adds up. Okay, worms are in the mix. It's
love that. Looks strong.
Yeah, I feel like melters are okay, and then there's Wasp as well. Like maybe you would never pick it as Nightcrawler because there's like a Typhoon. I don't know. I like the worm pick personally.
It makes sense when your board is Arclight Storm, right? Arclight Worm, very common comp, has been around for some time now, and well, this is the type of board that it does perform well into. Sledgehammers, Arclights, Marksman, all of these smaller type units. Immediate Strike and Triple Worm.
I really like it.
That right side tower. That is scary.
Really, really strong. Really answers that weakness that he had on that side of the board as well.
And Nightcrawler, by the way, running anti-air on his sandworms.
Spicy. Very interesting. Never seen a strike worm use that before, by the way. It must look pretty sick when it hits like a wasp pack.
Maybe we'll see it. His anti-air is not the greatest for now, although I imagine he will want to get replicates as well.
Yeah. Definitely giving the edge here to Nightcrawler for now. I mean, there is the Wasp pickup, but like there's a lot of Fangs. I don't know. They'll just go into Mustangs on the following turn. I feel like that puts them in a pretty good position. Or anti-air sandworms, but I don't know. Maybe.
I want to see it.
Yeah, me too.
Well, right side should be a convincing win. How much pressure can a Grypnocoma put on the left side of the board?
God, these sandworms are so sick.
Chomp, chomp.
And the blue one is just a monster with absorption module. Like the white ones are already pretty insane if you ask me. Like, one of them's almost dying. The marksmen are pretty big. We get the debuff. There's a lot of material on the left side of the board, most of them level 2. Stormcallers are not going to look great at the end of this battle. The Phoenix is alive and shooting the Wasp. That's kind of nice. I think we're going to get an air win situation at minimum, and I think a Grip Nakoma hoping to kill the ground here.
Doing an okay job. We'll get another strike.
Nice.
Yeah. Good healing from that.
Okay, Mustang's here for sure, right?
Yeah, probably.
More crawler threats. One was picked up earlier by Nightcrawler. Could get a second one. Wasp Swarm, a bit of anti-air, a bit of disruption to the marksman. Redeploy if you want to get the worm from the right to the left. Also kind of an interesting move. 2 threats here for Nightcrawler.
What is Agri's move going to be, though, into these sandworms? Oh, there we have it. The blue truck, which is probably the best thing you could buy.
I do like it. Redeploy was interesting, by the way, for Grip Nakoma, if he wanted to, just so that on the following turn he can move that car around. Honestly, do you think that the level 3 worm with absorption has any chance against the truck?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Don't think so either.
It could be like level 5, and I don't think it would make a difference.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Especially with overload, that thing hits like, well, a truck.
Yeah, and like I don't think there's any like air cheese potential for Nightcrawler. He only has like what, the 1 bird? If even that, I don't even know where it is.
No, he sold the bird.
He sold it. Okay, so it's like because nothing can kill the War Factory, I feel like a Grip Nakoma's already won the round.
Look at this crawler, like this underground threat positioning, by the way, right on top or underneath the factory. So Agri getting a good split there, but yeah, I mean this worm is not having a good time. Already going down. You wouldn't even have noticed that it was level 3.
Seriously. Why does this thing deal so much damage if it already has 1,000,000 HP?
I mean, look, those are questions for another day, another time.
Okay, where does this put Nightcrawler? Is he surviving? Maybe barely?
Doesn't
maybe
really
not
look like it, though.
Oh my gosh.
That'll do. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep.